In this video, I'm going to explain multiplication and division in rational numbers. And here the rule is given. When we have two rational numbers, b is different than 0, it must be. We are multiplying the numerators and denominators together. We are multiplying numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator, it must be. Here also I need to remember you about the multiplying the signs, because sometimes while we are multiplying the signs we are doing mistakes. And here it is same like integer multiplication. When you multiply positive rational number and positive rational number, the result again positive it must be, or negative and positive. If you multiply, the result will be negative. Positive and negative, they're negative. Negative and negative, if you multiply, the result is going to be positive also. Here I explain you, and one more time I'm repeating, when we have two rational numbers, we are firstly multiplying the numerator by numerator. 3 times 4 it's going to be, and 5 times 7 it's 35. 3 times 4 is 12, and product of the numerator and product of the denominators it's going to be. So if I solve the exercises, if I start with A, 3 over 11 times 5 over 6. When I said numerators and numerators, so 3 times 5 I'm going to multiply, and 12 times 6 it's going to be, and 3 times 5 is equal to 15. 6 times 12 is going to be equal to 72. After this operation also I need to remind you about the simplifying or reducing the rational number. Here, before multiplying the rational number, you can reduce, or after multiply the rational number, you can reduce the terms. 72 and 15, I know that both numbers are divisible by 3. So when I divide by 3, this is going to be equal to 5. And when I divide this one, 72 by 3, the result is going to be equal to 24. So the answer is going to be 5 over 24. Before multiplying, as I said you, before multiplying the numbers, also you can simplify. 3 over 11 times 5 over 6. 6 and 3, if you simplify, the answer is going to be equal to 1, and this is going to be 2. So 5 times 1, 1 times 5 is over 12 times 2, it's going to be 12 times 2, which is equal to 5 over 24 is going to be. Okay, if it is possible to simplify before multiplying the terms, we can also simplify, or after multiplying the terms, we can simplify. Okay, the second exercise. Here, the C1 I'm going to choose. The others, they are going to be classwork for us. Here, the C1, it's minus 2 over 9 and 4 over 5. Both of the number is negative, so the result must be positive. Firstly, in integer topic, when we were learning in integers, we learned that multiplying negative times negative, the result must be positive. So here it is same, and 2 over 9 times minus 4 over 5 is going to be equal to plus 2 times 4 over 9 times 5, which is equal to 8 over 45. The other questions, they are going to be classwork for us. Okay, let's continue. Okay, here we have we are going to multiply integer by rational number. When you multiply integer by rational number, you are multiplying only by numerator with the integer. So a times b, here it's also given, a times b over c is equal to a times b over c, it's going to be. Here also it's mentioned that, you know, every integer can be written as a rational number when the denominator is 1. So we apply that one here. A over 1 times b over c. A times b is equal to, here the numerator a times b, and denominator is equal to 1 times c, which is equal to c, it's going to be. Okay, here I'm going to start with the first exercise with the A1. Minus 9 times 2 over 7. So I know that I'm going to multiply by only with the numerator. So here it's going to be like this, minus. Why minus? Because this is positive, this is negative, this is plus, this is minus, and the result it's going to be minus times plus. You know, it's equal to minus. So the result is going to be minus 9 times 2 is equal to 9 times 2 over 7 it's going to be, and it's equal to 18 over 7 going to be. But later we are going to do direct operation, which means with the b1 I'm solving now. b1 is 2 times minus 1 over 3, which is equal to, I couldn't write the 3 here, 1 over 3. The result again it's going to be, because plus times minus this is, and minus 2 times 1 over 3, which is equal to minus 2 over 3 is the answer. Or the last one I am solving here, the C1 or D1 I am solving, 3 over 13 times 5, sorry. The answer is 3 times 5, which is 15 over 13 it's going to be. Okay, now when we have mixed numbers, what we are going to do, here it's explaining at the upper part. When we multiply two mixed numbers, first we express each mixed number as an improper fraction, then we find the product. So we are going to firstly transform them into improper fraction, then we are going to multiply the terms. 2 and 1 over 4 times 3 and 1 over 2 it's going to be. Here, as you remember, we are multiplying this 2 term and we are adding to numerator, which means 4 times 2 is equal to 8, then plus 1 it's going to be equal to 9, and the denominator always it is same. And this one is 3 times 2 is equal to 6 plus 1 it's equal to 7 over 2 it must be. Okay, then the term is 9 over 4 times 7 over 2. 9 times 7 it's going to be equal to 63, and 4 times 2 is equal to 8, so the answer is 63 over 8. Or if I multiply the C1, this was the A1, and I'm going to multiply now C1. C1 is minus 7, 1 and 7 over. This is a bit weird because this 7 normally it shouldn't be bigger than, but probably there is a mistake. So I'm not going to solve this question, and I'm canceling this one. Normally at the mixed number, numerator must be smaller than denominator, and whole number, numerator and denominator it's going to be, and numerator must be smaller than denominator. That's why I canceled that one. Here this number is not a whole number, that's why I'm going to continue with the D. Here the second question is going to be D. 8 over, there's no minus, 8 and 7 over 11 times 11 over 5. And it's going to be 11 times 8, it's equal to 88, plus 7, it's going to be equal to 95. 95 times 11, 95 over 11 times 11 over 5. As I told you before, when we multiply the term rational numbers before multiplication, we can simplify the numerators and denominators, because I know that everything what is written at the denominator, it's going to return to denominator, and this is going to be numerator. And this term we may simplify, and they will be equal to 1 and 1. And when you divide 95 by 5, the result it's going to be equal to, here 19 and 1, so it's equal to 19 times 1, which is 19, over 1 times 1, which is equal to 1. The answer is equal to 19 going to be. Okay, Powers of irrational number like integer a over b to the power of 0, it's going to be equal to 1. So something to the power of 0 is equal to 1, except 0 over 0 is undefined. We learned this one before, that's why we are not going to repeat this one here. A over b to the power of 1, it's itself. It was also same for the natural numbers and rational numbers, integers actually also. So, and for all these are a over b to the power of 1, it's equal to a over b, it's going to be. So 7 over 8 to the power of 1 is going to be equal to 7 over 8, and minus 2 over 3 to the power of 1, it's going to be minus 2 over 3. Here a over b to the power of n, when we say we can apply the to the power of n to the numerator and denominator, which means a to the power of n over b to the power of n. This is very important. And when the power is negative, you may replace numerators and denominators place. So a over b to the power of minus 1 is equal to b over a to the power of 1, which is equal to b over a. And here this is the last one. A over b to the power of minus n is going to be equal to b over a to the power of n, which is a to the power of n over b to the power of n over a to the power of n. If I give two examples for these two or these three, let me give some exercises about this one. Let's say 2 over 3 to the power of 5, it's going to be equal to 2 to the power of 5 over 3 to the power of 5, which is equal to 2 to the power of 5, 32, and 3 to the power of 5, it's equal to 243, it's going to be. Here 2 over 7 to the power of minus 1, it's going to be equal to 7 over 2. And the last one, here 3 over 4 to the power of minus 3, it's going to be equal to 4 over 3 to the power of 3. You know after this part what it's going to be. It's equal to 4 to the power of 3 over 3 to the power of 3. 4 to the power of 3 is equal to 64. 3 to the power of 3 is equal to 27. So the answer is 64 over 27. It's going to be this one for this exercise and this one here for this exercise. It's going to be. Okay, this is the division part in rational numbers, and this is the last part actually. Division and multiplication, they are similar but there is one only rule, and then everything goes same. The rule is written here. When you multiply a over by, when you divide a over b by c over d, you are going to replace numerators and denominators at the second term, which is divisor also. Then you are going to multiply the terms. What I mean, a over b over c over d is equal to, here it's written, I'm going to write the same thing. This part goes up and this part goes down, and it becomes like this: a over b times d goes up over d over c, it's going to be. Okay, here we have some numbers, and we are going to divide rational numbers by integers. Okay, it's not difficult for us because we know that every integer can be written as a rational number. So when I divide 4 over 3 by 8, it's at the same time 4 over 3 by 8 over 1. I know that every integer can be written like rational number like this. And 4 over 3 times, now 1 goes up, 8 goes down, and it's equal to 4 over 3 times. And 4 over 24, when you simplify 4 and 4 at the from both of them, the answer is going to be equal to 1 over 6. This was the A1, and I can solve the B1 here. Here the 5 over 10 over 11, 5 over 10 over 11. The second term also, always we are going to change their places, so it's going to be 5 times 11 over 10. And we know how to multiply integer by rational number. We are multiplying integer by only the numerator, so this is 5 times 11 over 10 it's going to be, which is equal to 55 over 10, is going to be, and when we divide both of them by 5, this is going to be equal to 11, and this is going to be equal to 2. Before multiplying also you may simplify 5 and 10, you may simplify, so it's going to be 1 and 2. So the answer 1 times 11, which is 11 over 2, it's going to be again before multiplying or after multiplication. It is not important, but of course when before multiplying more easier than after multiplication. Here there are some exercises with mixed numbers, so I'm going to start with them. I'm going to start with the D1. You know, if we are going to multiply at the end, first we should transform these are into improper fraction. So before multiplying these terms, we are going to do like this. I'm starting with D1. Firstly, 1 and 1 over 5 must be written in term of improper fraction, and 2 and 1 over 3. It's equal to 5 times 1 is equal to 5, and plus 1, which is equal to 6 over 5, over 2 times 3 is equal to 6 plus 1, 7. 7 over 3 it must be. 6 over 5, when we are dividing, at the first step we are going to change the places of numerator and denominator. 3 over 7 it's going to be, and the answer is 18 over 35 it's going to be. Okay, I will choose another. Here this is the second exercise, maybe here this one. Here we know that, pardon, the C1 I'm going to solve. C1 I want to solve. Here we need to remember division and multiplication. They are similar operations I said at the beginning. So multiplication and multiplication here also it's going to affect the signs. So if you remember, minus times minus, it's going to be equal to plus. So the result, it must be plus. First we need to understand that one. So minus 8 over 5 over minus 3 over 5, when we say, it's going to be equal to minus 8 over 5 times minus 5 over 3, it must be. Minus and minus, the result it's going to be plus. 8 times 5, it's equal to 14, and 5 times 3, it's equal to 15, and when you simplify the 5 and 5, the result it's going to be equal to 8 over 3. Here also actually we may simplify, but I didn't use that one. So after this step I can continue also like this. 8 over 5 times 5 over 3, minus and minus, this one and this one, if you simplify directly, plus 8 times 1, 1 times 3, 8 over 3, we can directly write, but it's your choice which one you want to use firstly.